What's going on, guys? Welcome back into the channel. Today we are going to discuss the difference between a 3-4 and a 4-3 outside linebacker. Now, I know that this isn't a super complicated topic, but it's something that I've had some people comment on my videos about, and I just wanted to get it out there. That way, if anybody needs help distinguishing between a 4-3 and a 3-4 outside linebacker and which stats are important for each, that they would be able to learn something from this video and hopefully help themselves out. So shout out to Marine King 09, who's the one that commented on one of my videos, and they basically said, you know, I refer to 3-4 versus 4-3 outside linebackers, and they were just wondering how can I tell which linebackers are better at the different defensive positions. So let's just talk about that and get it out of the way and just kind of distinguish between the things. So what I want to emphasize here is the difference between 4-3 versus 3-4 outside linebackers is that it's going to depend on what the players are doing. So if you look at this system that I'm running right here, I'm running a 4-3 defense. And in a 4-3 defense, these four guys, the four defensive linemen, the 2 D tackles here, and the 2 D ends are going to be on the line of scrimmage at all times. Whereas the 3 linebackers, the middle linebacker and both of the outside linebackers, are going to be off of the line of scrimmage playing basically a middle linebacker's role. All 3 of these players in a 4-3 scheme will essentially be a middle linebacker. Now, there is some responsibility between these guys. Sometimes you might get one of these guys pass rushing a little bit more than a middle linebacker would, but for the most part, the easiest way to think about this is all 3 linebackers in a 4-3 scheme are going to be middle linebackers. They're going to be guys that have to make plays going sideline to sideline, guys that are going to come in and make tackles, and guys that are going to cover in the passing game. And so if you look at guys like Micah Parsons, this is a player that actually I had at outside linebacker at one point in time, but he actually plays middle linebacker for me now because I was able to transition him, because in a 4-3 system, it's kind of interchangeable. A guy can play middle, he could play outside, and it doesn't make too much of a difference. Now, what I want to show you is in a 4-3 system, most of your linebackers you're going to want to mold to look like this. You're going to pretty much neglect to develop their power and finesse moves because that's not really helpful for a 4-3 linebacker. 4-3 linebackers aren't going to be pass rushing very often, and they're not going to be in one-on-one situations with offensive tackles or offensive linemen in general where they're going to be rushing the quarterback. And so you're going to be focusing more on their physical attributes and more on their pure linebacking attributes, which is more of what you would consider a middle linebacker. So all 3 of your linebackers in a 4-3 system, you're going to want them to have good tackling, probably good block shed, hit power, good pass coverage, good awareness, good play rec, everything that you see here on the screen with Micah Parsons. Now, I do have 2 young guys sitting on the outside, and what I want you guys to note is that I drafted this guy, Javonte Luther Queen Sr., who is actually a bit of a pass rusher himself. He actually has decent pass rushing moves. So if we take a look, I'm trying to see, he's got 85 power move and 73 finesse move, but essentially what I want you to realize here is that even though he's got that power move, that might hyperinflate his overall, I should say, because as a 4-3 outside linebacker, you know, it's great that he's got that power rush move, but he's really not going to utilize it that often. More so, you're going to want to pay attention to the run stopper and the pass coverage grade. And so in reality, Javonte Luther Queen Sr. only in a 4-3 scheme serves as a 77 overall for me because that is what he is effectively doing at his position. So you got to focus on those stats as opposed to pass rushing, or, you know, even block shedding necessarily, and strength aren't necessarily as important for a 4-3 lineman because, like I said, these guys are all playing off the line of scrimmage most of the time. They're not going to be matched up directly with an offensive lineman. However, if you look at a 3-4 scheme, those guys, those outside linebackers are going to be matched up against an offensive lineman a lot of the time, and they're going to be pass rushing. So if you look at a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's the team that I generally base it off of. I know I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but if you want to base anything off of a good 3-4 outside linebacker, you're going to base it off of TJ Watt. TJ Watt is particularly skilled as a pass rusher, but not a good coverage guy. As you can see, he's only got 65 man coverage, only 77 zone coverage. He's not the type of linebacker that you would put in the 4-3 as an outside linebacker or even a middle linebacker. At no point in time should you really play a guy like TJ Watt at middle linebacker because he's more specialized to rushing the passer. As you guys can see, he's got 82 power move, 96 finesse move, very good block shed, and he's got good strength, 78. So really not that good of strength, but decent enough strength. And so essentially the difference is that a 3-4 outside linebacker is going to be down on the line of scrimmage a lot. They're going to be playing against offensive linemen. They're going to have one-on-one matchups where they're going to be trying to rush the quarterback and get sacks. So that's the significant difference. If you want a guy to be successful on defense as a linebacker, know the difference, know where they're going to play. Don't play a guy that's a good coverage guy but has no pass rushing ability on the edge as an outside linebacker because it's just not going to help you out. And, vice versa, don't play a guy that's a good pass rusher as a 4-3 linebacker because that's not going to really help you. Honestly, if you were going to play a 4-3 scheme and you had TJ Watt, you would want to play him as a defensive end because he's got that pass rush ability. So that's kind of what you're looking at with those players. Hopefully that helped clarify some things for you guys. I know it's just a nice quick video and it's not super complicated, and a lot of people probably already know these things, but I just wanted to go over it because it was in the comment section and just try and address it to hopefully help somebody out. So if it did help you out in some way, make sure to leave a like on the video. Your support is much appreciated. Make sure to comment down below with anything you guys would like to see next, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you guys have a great night. See ya.